Box fighting requires a masterful level of both mechanics and game sense in order to be the best. It's a reason why I personally find practicing through box fights to be so rewarding. Now today, I'm going to pass off some of the best box fighting tips that you guys are going to use in-game and in box fights that's going to help you outplay your opponents and really make them look stupid in the process. So if you guys are excited for the video, you guys know the drill. Make sure to go ahead and leave a like on the video if you're excited. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Over 90% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel yet. And of course, I make this content just for you guys. So if you want to support me back, subscribing to the channel is exactly how you guys can do that. Also, quite a handful of you guys in the comments have asked me if I have a support a creator code. And the answer to that is yes, code hindog in the item shop. You can use that to support me. I don't really have a lot of supporters right now, but hopefully if you guys do make a purchase and you want to support me, you can also do that. I'm just throwing that out there. Absolutely not necessary, but I would really appreciate it. With that said, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alrighty guys, so kicking things off, the first tip that I have for you guys is the fake peanut butter edit. Now I actually just recently learned about this from watching some pro players make this exact move, and I thought that this was so amazing that I wanted to share it with you guys first. Now as you guys already know by watching my previous videos, some of the staple edits is peanut buttering, where you make a diagonal edit and then you play the left side, jump, shoot, and then instantly reset your wall. Now that's good and all, right? You're getting yourself that right hand peek. But the only problem with it is that it's pretty predictable because so many people use it at this point that when you make this edit, oftentimes you'll find players playing on the left side, and right when you make that edit, they'll just try to jump in your box. Now it's counterable, but you're putting yourself in a spot where yes, there's a little bit of risk. It's not completely risk-free, so I do have an alternative for you guys today. Now what's the alternative? The fake peanut butter edit. So I want you guys to play to the left, just like you're doing a peanut butter edit. Going slightly to the left while you make the peanut butter edit. Confirm the edit, but here's what you're gonna do. Right when you make the edit, you're actually gonna, instead of going through with the jump, you're gonna reset the wall and you're gonna make an open left side peek. Now wherever they're at, making that peanut butter edit, they're gonna have either shot you or they're gonna have done something, but either way, no one's gonna expect for you to reset and play the left side. What you guys wanna do is make the edit and then grab the edit, reset it without actually confirming it, and then making the new edit. So it's gonna look something like that. Now I have a clip from Eclipse. He was running some Zone Wars and he hit this exact same edit and it just 200 pumps his opponent and it looks so clean. I'm gonna share that with you right now.
Oh my god. Absolutely controller. That's a clip. Get the rest of the clip, babe.
Oh my god!
And this is me doing it in game. Needless to say, if you're looking to outsmart your opponents, this trick should be high up on your list. Alrighty guys, so the next tip I want to show you guys is actually a really practical use case for box fighting. Now, it's not an exact tip that I can show you in the creative arena, so I actually came to this building so I can show you the tip adequately. Now, oftentimes build fights, box fights, whatever fights you do, start out from your spawn where there's a lot of buildings and you guys are gonna have to navigate through that properly. But one thing that people don't consider when they're engaging in a box fight that is involved with a building is that you could actually end the fight a lot quicker if you use this one trick. Now everyone knows about the ramp phase where you put a ramp behind your head and then you get the wall down to one shot and you jump right when you hit the wall and that phases you into the box. But what people don't consider is that if you set this ramp phase up behind a building that you place or your opponent placed, well, when you break the build, you can see through it. It's kind of transparent. So once you get it down to one shot, your opponent basically knows every single time that you're gonna phase into their box. But look at this. When you get a wall down to one shot, a wall that's been pre-built by Epic, you know, a building that has a flat surface, they don't know that you are actually going to be secretly setting up a wall phase. Oftentimes, people will go to break and try to replace the wall, but your opponent who's sitting inside this building, in this 1x1, he's going to be waiting for you to break it, and he's going to be holding. So we're going to do this once again. You get the wall down to one shot. You assume that the other player is holding the wall on the other side. You set up your ramp phase however you want. They don't know that you have a ramp phase here because the wall isn't transparent at all. You jump in. Boom. You got the jump on them, and they're holding their wall out. It's not like they're prepared. They don't know that you're going to be right in their box because they're holding the wall, assuming that you're trying to take that wall. You're going to get the first shot every time, and guess what? Your early game fights are going to conclude so much quicker, which is going to unscuff you in so many scenarios. So this is one that I want to put on the top of my list because you're exactly outsmarting your opponent. Alrighty folks, so for our third tip, I want to talk to you guys about your last resort scenario where if you're fighting someone and they get you down pretty low and they're really closing in on your box, I want to talk to you about something that you can do to give you at least some chance of surviving, which is going to be the fake pickaxe bait. So this is a little bit circumstantial. So we're going to set up a scenario where, let's say that your opponent's tagged you pretty good, you're on low HP, then they start going for one of your walls and they end up taking your wall, right? You're in that box over there, your opponent's right here, they open up the edit and they take your ramp. Oftentimes you'll find yourself in this really awkward scenario where you're going to be right here holding your gun out and your opponent is going to be waiting for a good opportunity to open up this edit and try to kill you. Oftentimes they'll be sat on top of this ramp. If they're sat on top of this ramp, outside of the ramp, if they have control of the one layer that's separating you and them, then you're going to want to use this trick, especially when they have an HP advantage and they're trying to get aggressive on you. What I like to do, I like to pull out my pickaxe and pull out my gun really quick. Specifically, I would like to pull out my pickaxe while looking to the right, fake pickaxe swing, and instantly bring my shotgun back out. Because if you can bait out his edit, you could psycho onto him. And you have your shotgun out because you predicted the edit, you're going to get that first shot. So if he makes the edit when you fake your shot, you fake pickaxe, bring your shotgun out, he makes the edit, you have your gun before him. Because when he makes the edit, if you're already pulling out your shotgun by the time he makes the edit, well, he has to do the whole animation of pulling out your shotgun while you're already halfway through that animation. So for the fourth tip, we're going to be talking about something once again that applies to an early game scenario. Let's say you're in a building and you're fighting an opponent and there's a lot of doors and a lot of rooms. Sometimes you might be caught in a really weird scenario where you're outside of this corridor and there's a door here and your opponent's standing on the left side to give himself a right-hand peek. Now he might think he has the advantage because no matter what you do, he has the right-hand peek. But there's one thing that I learned recently that I want to share off to you guys that you can do that's going to absolutely confuse your opponent and going to give you that first shot. So what I like to do here in this scenario, go up to the door, jump through it, close it. They don't expect it. They don't expect this kind of shot from you. You jump through, close the door. And I'll show you an example because I actually did it a few days ago in a pub match. Alrighty folks, so for the fifth and final tip, I want to make you guys aware of the phasing in Fortnite, and not specifically just ramp phasing. Of course, I know that ramp phasing has been around for a while and a lot of you guys actually use it a lot in box fights, where you edit while putting your feet against the back wall. It phases you through the ramp and you're able to make edits, you're able to have full dexterity from the confines of this phase. From the outside perspective, you look a little weird because you're behind a wall, but you're not, and it really throws your opponent off guard just enough to give you that first shot. I just want to make you guys aware that you could also do this with cones. So as you guys can see here, I put a cone down, edit, just like so. Again, you use the same procedure of sitting all the way back against the wall. You make that edit, hit your shots, reset it, and go on with your life. Now, I bring this up specifically because so many of you guys use that same old ramp edit, right? And although, yes, it does work against newer players, well, against more advanced players, especially when you're trying to play in tournaments and whatnot, people predict that. People can predict. You place a stair this way, well, it's pretty logical that you could edit it backwards, especially if you have your feet against the wall. But when you play with a cone in your box, there's so many more reasons that you'll play with a cone in your box without doing that same edit that it becomes a little bit more unpredictable if you guys mix it up a little bit. So stairs are good, cones are better. Do phases with both, but mix in those cones because your opponent will truly not expect it. All in all, outplaying your opponents really isn't that much of a daunting task as long as you're able to predict the patterns in which your opponents will play at. My video right here builds on the assumptions that players are going to play optimally, and as a result, you can make the best counters possible. If you guys put yourself in that mindset, then you're going to unlock the potential of doing massively insane outplays, big brain moves, 200 IQ plays, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be smarter on the battlefield. And specifically for box fighting, hopefully it's understood that it's not one size fits all. You'll have to use different plays on different opponents based on what you perceive their skill to be, what their tendencies are, and what you pick up that they're doing within the game. But once you're able to do that, you can truly master the game using these tips and tricks to assist you. With that said, I'd like to kindly remind you guys to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, of course, and then make make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It really motivates me to continue producing weekly content just like this. If you guys want to support me like that, please do so now. With that said, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.